everybody, what's going on? It's finally here. The heroes are about to unite. Today, we're going to be talking about the Justice League. Superman is dead. As the world mourns, there is a new threat coming to Earth. It's up to Batman and Wonder Woman to convince the other superpowered heroes of the planet to come together to stop it. First things first, we all knew this was coming, but this is a setup movie. A lot of this movie is dedicated to setting up three new heroes, Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash. While I will say that the reasons for them coming together does work, it works a little too conveniently. That being said, without their own movies, this had to be done. While it does work, I will say that it does feel rushed. That being said, the sense of urgency is worked into the plot. A lot of this movie's plot is dedicated to getting the team together. Next, of course, we have to talk about the League. We'll start with Batman. His character is dealing with guilt because he blames himself for Superman's death. While he is leading the charge against this new threat, he is definitely a reluctant leader. Wonder Woman's doing the superhero thing and helping people whenever she can. Things do get a bit personal when she realizes who's coming to invade the planet. Aquaman is living a somewhat drunken life, helping a small fishing town gather food. He gets drawn into the fight when the movie's villain attacks Atlantis, his true home. Cyborg's dealing with his father turning him into what he is, and the new tech that is his body plays into the main plot somewhat. And finally, the Flash is a socially awkward loner, and he's letting his father's false imprisonment hold him back. Just to feel a part of something, he gladly joins the team. For me, the Flash is by far the best new character, and if this movie did anything, it got me excited for his solo movie, which is supposed to be Flashpoint. Of course, if it's Flashpoint, I better see that Jeffrey Dean Morgan Batman. While I won't be spoiling any major plot points here, I do want to warn you that what I'm about to talk about might be considered a minor spoiler, so you've been warned. You still with me? Okay. First things first, there is no Green Lantern in this movie, at least of the Hal Jordan or John Stewart variety. I will say that there is a flashback sequence that does touch on the Lanterns just a bit. I will have to say that that little bit did get me excited for it and got me to, kind of want to forget this thing. And no, there's nothing during or after the credits about them, pending Warner Brothers saving something for the theatrical release anyway. Secondly, we're going to talk Superman. Now, I'm not going to say whether or not he's back. When it comes to this subject, I'll just talk about this. There was a Justice League cartoon two-parter called Hereafter, where Martian Manhunter, a character I'd love to see eventually in these movies, and the Flash are talking about Superman, who had died earlier in the story. Don't worry, he ended up being fine.
I must admit, I'm also concerned about the League's future.
Never expected to hear that kind of talk from you, John.
How many battles did we win simply because he was there?
Yeah. I used to be able to goof around so much because I knew Superman had my back. Now all I've got is his example. And that's gonna have to be enough.
I had this feeling that what they said in that cartoon might play into this movie. So about Superman, I'm just gonna leave it at that. These next 2 points are where my real issues with this movie stem from, and the first is the plot. Now, the heroes getting together thing works well enough, because when you don't want to take the time to set up things properly, then you have to make do. What really doesn't work for me is the whole invasion angle. Look, there's items that can cause the world harm, and it's up to the heroes to keep them away from the bad guys. Sound familiar? Secondly, when it came to the villain, Steppenwolf, I'm just going to be blunt. He just flat out sucks. He is just flat out a boring and generic villain, and the CG on him is terrible, especially his mouth movements. Now, the voice acting from Ciarán Hinds is fine, but there's no real substance to the character other than getting the world ready for his boss, who he teases by name, and who is a much more compelling villain. Like I said, he just sucks. While this isn't a Marvel movie, of course they're going to take a similar approach. There's after-credit scenes. While I won't spoil anything major, I will say there is a scene mid-credits and one afterwards. The mid-credit scene should make fans of The Flash very happy because it's a fun scene that you kinda hoped you would get to see. The after-credit scene teaches a future villain, and honestly it kinda nails it. I know I was pretty critical about this movie, but I'm a fan, I kinda have to be. That being said, I still think it's worth seeing, but don't get your expectations too high. If you should be excited about anything, it should be the heroes because they are the reason to watch. If you like the heroes, you're gonna like them in this. Now, I can't say that this movie really got me excited for the Aquaman solo movie or the Cyborg one, but it did get me excited for the Batman movie and especially the Flash one. I felt that this movie did have the right amount of humor versus the drama, but I will say that it kinda needed some more action. I think all of the setup kinda took away from some of it. If I really have to be honest, I probably wouldn't watch this movie again unless there was an extended version, but Warner Brothers would never do that, would they? If I had to put it on a scale, I would say that this movie is not Wonder Woman, but it's not the mess that was Batman v Superman either. As always, thank you so much for watching. When it comes out, let me know what you thought of the Justice League in the comments down below. Until next time, I'm Gino Reynolds from The Real Gino.